Lesson 9.5, Determinants of Matrices. The determinant is a real number associated with a square matrix. A 2 by 2 is pretty easy. If A is that, then the determinant of A, which we can use as a function named det, or absolute value bars around the matrix, it is simply the downward diagonal, the product of the downward diagonal, minus the product of the upward diagonal. So it's AD minus BC. It is the down product minus the up product. Let's find this determinant of this matrix. So it's the product of the downwards, so 1 times 4, minus the product of the upwards, 3 times 2. 4 minus 6, which is negative 2. The 3 by 3 matrix also has a shortcut to find the determinant. By the way, determinants can only be found for square matrices. What you do is you copy the first 2 columns after the matrix, then it's the sum of the products of the downs minus the products of the ups. There we go. So we're going to copy the first 2 columns. And then it's the downs, so it's 1 times 5 times 9. Then we have another down, so I'm going to say plus 2 times 6 times 7, plus 3 times 4 times 8. And now that's all the downward diagonals. Now we'll do upward diagonals, but those are minus, so it's minus 7 times 5 times 3, minus 8 times 6 times 1, minus, because it's still going up, 9 times 4 times 2. And then it's just simplified, so this is 45, and this is 84, and 96, 105, 48, 72, and now combine all those together and you get 0. If it's not a 2 by 2 or a 3 by 3, the way you do it is called expansion by cofactors. To remember that, to find a determinant, we have the sign pattern. Top left is a plus, and then it alternates plus minus as you go to down the row and down the column. The minor is the determinant of the matrix created by crossing out a row and a column. So the cofactor would be the minor with a sign from the sign pattern. Okay, so here's the matrix. Notice it's square. We can only do determinants of square matrices. What is the minor 1, 5? So this is row and column, or 1, 3. So it's row 1, third column. So we're going to cross out row 1 and column 3. And we're left with 2, 1, 0, 2. So this would be the determinant of 2, 1, 0, 2, which is 2 times 2 minus 0 times 1, or 4. Find the cofactor. Well, it's again row and column, so that's row 1, third column. So that's a plus. So the cofactor is the sign from the sign pattern with the minor, so it's a plus 4, or just 4. All right, let's find this determinant. I know it's a determinant because the sides are the absolute value bars, not the brackets for a normal matrix. There's a shortcut, but let's not use the shortcut. Let's use the expansion by cofactors. And this is easiest if you pick a row or a column that has zeros. So it could either be the first row or the third column would make it easiest. So let's pick the first row. What we're going to do is we're going to find all the cofactors of the first row. So I'm going to cross out the first row, and then we'll do the first column. So what we do is we do the sign from the sign pattern, which was a plus, the number where the lines meet, and then the minor, which is just the determinant of what's not crossed out. Okay, then we move down our row or column, cross out the next. Okay, our next sign, so it was a plus, now it's a minus. We cross out the 0, and the numbers not crossed out are 3, 0, 1, 1. Then we move down our row again. So that's a 4, and that's a plus 4, because it goes plus, minus, plus. And the minor, what's not crossed out, is 3, negative 2, 1, negative 1. So let's go ahead and find our little determinant. So this is negative 1 times negative 2 minus 0, minus 0, and you really don't have to calculate the determinant, the little one, because 0 times anything is 0. Then 4 times negative 3 minus negative 2. So that's negative 2 times negative 1, so it's 2. That's 0. And that is 4 times negative 1, or negative 4. So it looks like we get negative 2 when we add it all together. Let's find this determinant. So this is a 4 by 4, so there is no shortcut. So we have to do expansion by cofactors. So we want a row or column with a lot of zeros. The more zeros, the easier it is. So I say the second row has the most zeros. All right, so we start with a sign from the sign pattern, because remember it starts with a plus, so this is a minus, so it's minus 0 times. Do I really care? Because 0 times anything is 0, so 0 times whatever determinant I had there, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to move along to the next one. Okay, so this would be a plus 2. Cross that one out. And we have the determinant of everything that's left. And then we go to the next spot on the row. This is a minus, so it's minus a negative 1 times what's not crossed out. And then we go to the next spot on the row, which would be a plus 0, and 0 times whatever's left is still 0. So let's simplify. We have 0 plus 2 times, and we need to copy the first 2 columns. And so that is negative 2 times negative 4 is 8 times 3 is 24. That's 0. And that's 5 times 3 is 15 times negative 2 is negative 30. Minus going up. That'll be 20 times 5, which is 100, minus, heading up, negative 4, minus 0. And then if you can still see it, we had a minus negative 1, so that's plus 1 times the next determinant. So that's negative 6 plus 20 plus 0 minus negative 25 minus 0 minus 36. And then it was plus 0 at the end. All right, combine the numbers. This will be 2 times negative 102 plus 1 times 3, which gives us negative 201 if we combine those together.